Hi guys, welcome back to the Naio Nails channel. It's Meg, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to do a frozen icicle ombre styled nail. So it's kind of got the icicle tips that look like ice, and then I'm going to show you how to ombre a beautiful deep blue colour into that with some snowflakes, and it is simple as that. I've done a few just so you can see how they look on a set. It's really easy to do, very quick, simple design. For this I'm going to be using Acrygel. If you find that your Acrygel is a bit too sticky, you can mix a little bit of crystal clear acrylic powder from our range into it, and it just takes that tack away from it a little bit. That's about it. I hope that you enjoyed today's wintry frozen themed nail. If you would like to purchase any of the products that I have used in today's video, then make sure to check out the description box below. If you haven't already, make sure to click subscribe. If you are a returning subscriber, then welcome back. Give this video a thumbs up and leave your comments in the comments box down below. I like to hear your feedback. So without further ado, let's get started on our frozen nail.
So with your Acrygel, the key is to take sort of a small to medium sized ball of it and pop it under the nail. So imagine this is your client's nail and you're going to go underneath where the tip is. And you need to make sure that you do this before applying any acrylic to the top or any gel. You would need to use a crystal clear acrylic powder with this set if you are doing it on a client. But we're obviously just doing it for a design purpose today, so that's why I am just using a normal plastic tip. So basically pop the Acrygel in, and using a silicone tool you just want to basically spread it around to make sure it is going up towards where the free edge of the client's nail is and round to the sides, and then you just want to like jab it like I'm doing basically. Just jab some little lines into it. Make sure you use the straight tool and it will give this effect here. So it looks like cracked ice. It's very cool, and it's a really simple and very easy design to do. Any beginner could do this as well. It's not particularly difficult. As you can see, I'm literally just pressing this silicone tool into the Acrygel, and it's just creating a really gorgeous ice effect underneath. So guys, once you have done that and you're happy with how the design looks, you want to just flash cure that so that it doesn't move. You can just then stick it straight into the lamp if you find that it stays put, but obviously if you're doing a full set of these, you may need to just flash cure your client's nails as you go, so one nail at a time, just to keep the product from slipping or moving around. So the next step, once you've cured all of those, is to take Serious Black and Ocean Ridge. And Ocean Ridge is a very deep, rich blue, but I just wanted to take it that one step darker, so I did mix a bit of Serious Black. I've mixed it on a palette here and used a spare brush lid that I've got here. It's just like a little extra brush. And you can see here it's a really gorgeous deep blue colour. So if you don't have many options or many colour ranges in your collection in your salon, you can always add white, so Snow White or Serious Black, to your colours, and it will give a slightly different tone. So obviously if you're looking for a really nice deep blue but you don't necessarily have many options, grab your nearest and your darkest blue and your Serious Black and you can create this look, which is gorgeous. So next step is to cover with this blue over the natural nail bed down to the free edge where your client's tip starts. So we're just going to pretend that that is where I've done it to here. And then just taking a fine liner brush, you're now going to disturb the edge of that just by taking some small brush strokes, and it's going to basically be a slight ombre blend. It kind of looks like icicles dripping down. Obviously, unless you're using an airbrush machine or a sponge, you're not going to get a really super smooth blend on this. I did use a sponge, but I still found it didn't look 100% smooth, so I just went with more of an icicle effect here, and I didn't mind the lines that were left. Don't be too precious about this first step. It is literally just to give a slight gradient in colour down into our tip, as you can see here. So once I cured that, I did then go in with my sponge, as you can see here, but I didn't find that it made too much of a difference, if I'm honest. I found that actually just using the brush to create the extra lines worked better, so I kind of scrapped that idea and just went with what I did, and as you can see, it was quite a nice blend. So once you've done that, again, super simple, super quick, we're already nearly done. I'm going to show you how to do a snowflake. So you want to take a dot of Snow White in the center, and then you're going to do 2 above, like so, and I've made them a little bit smaller as I go towards the outer edge. This is quite tricky, so if you can't do that, don't panic, but it does give a more real effect, a realistic look. So you want to start with this, and then you're going to go to the right hand side and add another 2 dots. I'm just being patient with myself here because I can see I'm not breathing as I was doing this. And then we're going to go the other side. Then you want to do another dot on each corner. Don't pull this too far out. You want to keep it reasonably close to the center. You'll see why in a minute. So I'm just doing a dot on each corner, and then you're going to flip your tool round and use your long fine liner brush. You want one that's quite long, and we are not going to take any extra product here. You just want to start from the center dot and drag the product that is already on there out to the edge, and this will really give you that thin line in between each dot. I think all I did here as well with the brush, just so that you are aware of why there's a little bit of white on there, is I had run it through the white gel that was on my palette first, and then just practiced a few lines on my palette, and I do find that then that creates a nice tacky finish on the brush and keeps the bristles really tight and straight, and that is then where I'm able to just use the normal product that I've already got on the nail and drag it out without having a clump of gel on the end of my brush. I really hope that made sense. It works anyway, so don't go in with a completely dry brush, but just practice a few lines first, and by doing that you're going to then scrape off excess product, but your brush will be left with like a nice shape, and it will be tacky, ready for you to do this, which looks absolutely gorgeous. This is how you do a snowflake in the most simple, dummy proof way. I've always struggled with snowflakes, but I found that this method worked the best for me. So I've done that now, and I'm just going to take my top coat over the top, and that is your nail done. If you find that the Acrygel is a little bit tacky under your client's nails, you can just go over with a little bit of top coat, which is obviously no wipe, so that will stop the tackiness if you do find that that's a problem. Okay guys, that is the end of this tutorial, and I hope that you enjoyed learning how to create an ice effect, which is sort of 3D underneath a client's nail without it being too tricky, and how to perfect a snowflake even for beginners. It was a really cool set to do. I did do another few just to show you how it would look as a full set. Here you go. I didn't do the 5th, I just thought I'd do 4. Looks so effective. Like, I think I'm definitely going to have clients that will want this in the Christmas period, and maybe not even so dark on the top. You could do it with nude, you could do it with any colour, to be honest, but really, really effective. They look like snowy mountains. It's like yeah, it just looks like, I don't know what it looks like, cracked ice, snowy mountains, you get the drift. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.